Hey guys, it's Vera Wylde, and I'm back once again with Dear Vera, where I answer your questions about cross-dressing. Today's question: Dear Vera, do you use or have ever used a type of antiperspirant on your chest before wearing your breast forms to cut down on sweat? I recently tried this on a whim using some secret brand roll-on, and it appeared to work. I also don't know if using such products may contact with the breast forms in such a way that it damages them. I would love to hear your thoughts, and this comes from Connie. Well, Connie, I've never personally tried that. Largely just because, as much as, I may not love the fact that, yes, my chest does sweat, particularly if I'm going out dancing or anything like that. At the end of the night, though, I tend to go home and shower. So the idea of working up a little bit of sweat under the forms doesn't bother me too much, just because I figure who's going to see it and care. But that's my own personal approach. Some people, just knowing the sweat is there, can throw them off. I would imagine that an antiperspirant would work well for that. I would recommend getting something as natural as you can. I've mentioned it before. On my arms, I use an Arm & Hammer, a Naturals that is unscented and has no aluminum in it. So I would get something like that, and if there is any risk that it's going to damage the breast forms, which I doubt, to be honest, but I would think that getting something like that is probably going to minimize that risk. The one thing I have used antiperspirants for is I have on occasion put antiperspirants basically sort of on my inner thighs, because especially when I first started shaving my legs on a regular basis, the friction of my thighs rubbing together, again, mainly from going out dancing in a short skirt, that tended to cause some irritation. So I would apply some antiperspirant just sort of on the upper thighs there, and that sort of just seemed to allow the skin to just graze by in a way that, you'd almost sort of think of almost baby powder for, but it would do it without, the kind of mess that you'd get from baby powder, and it would last a while, and it would stand up through sweat. So that is a trick that I have done with antiperspirants, or actually deodorants, to be a little more accurate. I actually don't use antiperspirants. I only use deodorants. Again, it's just sort of a personal cautionary thing about the chemicals. Something about the idea of something actually shutting off the sweat glands of my body and making my body stop doing something that it's trying to do naturally just weirds me out a little bit. That's a personal thing, though. So I have used, like I said, I have used deodorants for that, but I hope you found that helpful. And if you have continued to use the antiperspirant, feel free to let me know if it has or hasn't worked for you. So hope you found that helpful. And until next time, guys,